Standup Comedy, your host and MC, presents Comedy Appetizers, a podcast where you will find short comedy sets, stories, and funny bits from the famous and not so famous. Here is your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special bonus episode of An Audience of One. And we have another fun show for you. You may recall that in recent months, one of our favorite entertainers was sharing all the various types of entertainment there are in this art form. There was clowning and juggling and magic. It was so exciting. He wasn't really terrific at all of them, but he's a great stand-up comic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special bonus show, Bob Worley.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Man, Bob, you were sharing so much of your quality entertainment talents doing all those other things. I believe the last one was clowning, and you had a little bit of a struggle. What have you been doing?
Well, Scott, as you recall, I mentioned last time that I have retired from doing clowning because that's for clowns. I'm not a clown. But what I'm doing now is I'm pursuing my passion of working with clay.
Working with clay. Well. Wow.
Working with clay, Scott. I'm getting very good at it. So far, I've made a wiener dog without legs and a snake. So,
well, it sounds like you're getting better.
You should see these things, and you will, because I'm going to send you up a couple. So look out for those.
Well, let me pose a situation. Bob, we were talking about this. You have such a long 30, 40-year history in entertainment. Most of those years as a very successful stand-up comic. Maybe you could share some of your wisdom with comics, people that want to get into the business or future comics.
I sure do, Scott. I have much wisdom to share with the people. A lot of people starting out in comedy, they don't know what to do. I know I didn't, but now I do. And that's why I took your offer to share my top 10 best tips for people starting out in stand-up comedy.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Worley's going to share his top 10 tips to being a success in stand-up comedy. Bob, I just feel so honored. Thanks for your valuable time in doing this. How should we start?
Well, Scott, I think I'm going to count down from 10, and you know how it works, 9 follows, and then 8, and so on and so on. So I'm going to start from there, and we'll just let it rip. And again, I think this will be very helpful for a lot of these people that want to start out doing stand-up. I wish people gave me these tips.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Worley with the top 10 tips to being a successful stand-up comic. It's all yours, Bob.
Okie doke. All right, my number 10 top tip. Stay in school. Not only do you learn how to read and write, but you have a captive audience. They're there right for you. It's a good place to try out new material. And you know what? The teachers love it. They act like they don't, but they do. Let me tell you. Sure, you might end up in the hallway or in the principal's office, but that's a good place to reflect on the material that you tried out on the class. So that's my number 1 tip.
Wow. Wow, your first tip seems very strong. Stay in school. Yeah. Okay, good advice. Number 9?
Yeah. Number 9. I did say number 1 last time, but I went number 10, and number 9 is good hygiene. Very important. You know what, Scott? People go to a comedy show to see and hear comics, not smell them. So, I mean, it's not like the old days when you can get away without showering because everybody smoked in the audience and the room was like a big, foggy den. Nope, nowadays, you got to smell nice. So that's my advice. Go up there smelling like a rose.
Wow.
Or, another kind of flower.
Well, that could be very helpful to somebody. Take a shower.
Take a shower. And my number 8 tip, appearance. Scott, don't dress like a clown unless, of course, you are a clown. And then, by all means, feel free to dress like a clown. I mean, just a lot of people just go up like a slop. But no, you want to dress for the show. So I think that's very important. Dress appropriately for the room.
Dress like a professional, right? I get it.
Yes, like a professional. Absolutely. And the most important thing is always make sure your zipper's up.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that thing down, because next thing you know, people might think you're never mind. I don't want to go into it. Actually, I'll tell you a story, real quick story. I was working at a club in Indianapolis called the Comedy Connection. 20 minutes into my set, I heard from the back of the room's packed, 200 people. Guy yells, "Your zipper's down." I looked down and my shirt was sticking through my fly. So, just be sure to make sure the zipper's up. Oh, and if that's not the case, always wear underwear. You don't want people to think you're a prop act.
A small prop act. Boom, boom. Oh, well, that's great advice. Okay, number 8
unless,
was...
of course, you are a prop act, then go ahead and go for it.
Well, that's a great tip. Dress appropriately as a professional. I like that. All right, what's next?
Okay, Scott, and my number one tip for the kids
Whoa, wait, Bob, there's 10 tips. We did 10, 9, and 8. Where's number 7?
Sure? No, it seemed like I did a lot of tips. I mean, there's a lot in there.
That was very good advice. Stay in school, have good hygiene, dress appropriately. Those are 3 really strong suggestions, Bob, but we're far from 10.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Let me work on this a little bit. You know, I'm not very good with numbers. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm not good with numbers. The reading and writing stuff I got in school, but the numbers, never got the mathematics.
All right.
Hey, why don't I work on this, and then we'll get back maybe next week, and we'll finish it off.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the top, we started with 10. Well, we've done 3 great tips to be a professional comic from Bob Worley. I guess we're going to have to check back to get the rest, Bob. But thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bob Worley was starting his top 10 tips to comedy. Thanks, Bob. We'll be back next week with another great show.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Comedy Appetizers. Be sure to share with family and friends, and we will see you this Sunday for our regular podcast, your host and MC, and again next Friday for another episode of Comedy Appetizers. Bye!